Cyberpunk is broken. That's like the nicest thing I can say about the game. It's a game that had a mountain of hype, insane potential, and a ton of missed opportunities. And bugs. Today, I'm going to be attempting to mod Cyberpunk 2077 into the game it should have been. Okay, obviously that's not really possible to do with just mods, but let's see how close we can get. For this video, I'll be starting a new playthrough, and we are immediately greeted with one of the biggest lies of Cyberpunk. Life paths meaning anything. Aside from flavor text and dialogue that almost always loops back to the non-life path dialogue anyways, these do nothing. But with the mod life path bonuses, these actually do something. This mod grants bonuses in combat when fighting those of a similar life path to yours, and penalties when fighting enemies of an opposing life path. On the surface, sounds kinda dumb, but the second half of this mod is the more interesting part, which adds a ton of modifiers for enemies based on their gang or corporation. For example, the Maelstrom are obsessed with turning their heads into metal blocks, so Maelstrom enemies take reduced damage from headshots. The Voodoo Boys specialize in net running and have enhanced ice, meaning it costs more RAM to upload hacks to Voodoo Boys, and they take longer to upload. In truth, you won't really notice many of these changes unless you specifically know what to look for by reading the mod's description, but nonetheless, it's absolutely immersive and feels like the changes made to the enemies are plausible in the world of Cyberpunk. Also, life paths do something! Woohoo! Now that we're in the game, say hello to— whoa, hold up. So since I'm a sucker for immersion, first things first, I can't see my boobs. This is pissing me off, dude. With immersive first-person view, I can finally look down and— nice. But that's not all this mod does. It also adds a hotkey for smooth camera movement to look around while keeping you moving in the same direction. This definitely increases immersion as you can be walking and take a look around you to view the beautiful sights of Night City, look behind your back while running from the cops, or— hey man, I ain't gonna tell you what to do. One of my favorite aspects of Cyberpunk 2077 is first-person driving. Ripping through the streets of Night City at breakneck speeds with the radio blasting as I ram into every car and wall conceivable is a feeling I can't get in any other game. Unfortunately, the first-person camera while driving is ass. With the mod Better Vehicle First-Person View, I can finally see when I'm driving. You can adjust the field of view, sitting height, distance from the wheel, and make profiles for individual cars. You can even do some crazy shit like cranking the FOV, moving your camera back, and driving like this, which is totally impractical, but also looks cool as hell. Now that we're cruising, the city feels kinda empty. That Cyberpunk trailer made the city seem way more alive than it is, so it improves traffic and NPC density. It does exactly what it says. More cars, more— hold on. So, more cars and more NPCs wandering the streets. This mod has a few options for how dense you want the city to get, and it's one that you'll have to ask if you can even run in the first place. With the vanilla density option, you are still going to have more cars on the road and NPCs wandering around, but it's not super overwhelming. This is the option I recommend for normal gameplay. However, things get pretty crazy with the high density version. While the extra cars and NPCs are absolutely noticeable and make Night City feel like a real city, you're sacrificing a lot of frames per second. It's also kind of annoying to have so many cars blocking the road, which can make driving at high speeds a pain. But if you have a rig that can run it, my god does it breathe life into the city. Perhaps a bit too much. Oh shit, I just fucking flipped that dude. Holy shit. Get out of the way. Sorry. Oh god, I'm one. Okay, just— yeah, beep beep, sorry. There's too many cars here. Beep beep, dude. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Fuck. Oh shit. Dude, there's way too many people on the road. Sorry, bro. Don't run into the street, you idiots. I can't go anywhere. There's just too many cars and people. Oh my god. Staying with the theme of immersion, we have street vendors. A small but appreciated mod that makes the various vendors of Night City interactable, and they'll sell you food, drinks, guns, whatever. Now, food and drinks in Cyberpunk are still kind of meaningless, but sometimes I want to walk through the city and buy a noodle bowl to enjoy the atmosphere. It's kind of crazy how many NPCs become interactable with this mod. Like, literally every single vendor you can think of now becomes an actual shop. To be honest though, like life path bonuses, this is probably one you won't notice a ton, but it adds immersion and interactivity to Night City, which is what Cyberpunk was supposed to be, and that's like the whole idea of the video. One thing I've always hated about RPGs is when enemies are too high level for me to fight. While it can sometimes make sense in the context of a powerful enemy, I don't think random street dudes in another section of the city should magically have hundreds of more health and weapons that are identical to low-level dudes that for some reason hit me for my entire health bar. Level scaling is an adjustable mod that can make low-level enemies scale up with you, high-level enemies scale down to you, or both. This mod is a godsend on subsequent playthroughs, as sometimes I want to stick to one section of the map and clear it out before moving on to others. But if the developers say, that's a high-level zone, then you just can't. And now you can. Fuck you, devs. Want to head to City Center immediately and don't want to get one-shot by a gray revolver? Me too. Download this mod. The biggest issue I had with Cyberpunk on launch, besides the bugs, is how the clothes in the game are just armor values. They provide no benefits besides damage reduction and mod slots. When I played Cyberpunk for the first time, I was expecting outfits and clothing items to have unique stats that would influence my build in meaningful ways, and I didn't get that. StreetStyle adds statistics to every clothing item in the entire game that boosts your stats in a way that's been crafted to match the item types. Items can be one of 4 styles: entropism, kitsch, neo-militarism, and neo-kitsch. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know what the fuck those mean, but from the mod page we can see that wearing multiple items of the same style will provide further skill-specific buffs beyond the stats on each item. Now, because these items can roll with 2, 3, or 4 in a stat, you would think that with 7 equipable slots, you would just have 30 in every stat, making character building meaningless, but the slightly confusing way this mod keeps balance is that it adds the value of each stat from all your items and then divides it by 7. This can be cool or stupid, depending on how much you care about min-maxing stats. There are also a lot of extra buffs for maximizing your stats, but I'll be honest, I mostly ignore the min-maxing and just try to find clothes that have high stats in the attributes I'm investing in and call it a day. This mod mostly just makes certain items you find more attractive than just their armor value in mod slots, and that's kind of the point. So our character is pretty built now. Immersion has been achieved, stats have been increased, I definitely didn't just load a previous save. It's time to do something with our eddies. Remember David's mansion from Edgerunners? The one that only shows up as a cosmetic for one of Cyberpunk's endings and isn't purchasable in normal gameplay? Yep, we're buying it. Edgerunner Mansion adds the Edgerunner Mansion for sale. So you can live out your David from Edgerunners fantasy or just appreciate a beautiful view of Night City in a luxury high-rise mansion. I'll be honest, I love just looking around at the city and appreciating the beauty of this game, and you can't get a better view than from up here. The main issue is that this mansion is only accessible from a rinky-dink elevator at ground floor with no parking spots or anything. And that leads us to the final mod. Yeah, you've probably seen this mod already, but how can I not include it? Let There Be Flight adds flying to literally every car in Cyberpunk. With the push of a button, you can transform your car from drive mode to flight mode and finally take to the skies. The controls are kind of insane. Your car can also reach ludicrous speeds that are uncontrollable, and turning is a nightmare and a half, but fuck it, man, we're flying in Cyberpunk, and that's badass. There are a ton of options to change how flying feels, but I'm not a fucking NASA pilot. I don't know what any of this means. However, we can now fly up to our mansion, land our car on the helipad, and truly roleplay a lunatic cyber psycho with eddies to burn, which is what Cyberpunk 2077 should have been. Thanks for watching.